Good morning. It is Friday morning. Yay for Friday. Got a little bit of high clouds going on. Sun wants to peek through. But over that way, a little more clear. Then over the mountains, gets a little bit cloudier. So, who knows? Who knows? How are you this morning? How did you sleep last night? We're taking our hood walk backwards today. So, shaking it up. How'd the day go yesterday? What challenges did you face yesterday that ultimately you overcame, even though you didn't want to have to go through whatever it was? Regardless of how minor or major, what were your challenges yesterday? And how did you overcome them? I'd love to hear about that. So go ahead and put that in the comments, because, you know, everybody talks about how wonderful everything is, but everything's not always wonderful, and that's okay. I mean, that's life, right? It's full of challenges, and you know, what do we do? What do we do about that? Maybe it was a coworker that annoyed you. Maybe the kids just got on your last nerve, or the husband or spouse. It's all just part of life, right? And it doesn't mean that it's not consequential. I'm not saying that at all. And I'm not saying that because we have some sort of challenge that it makes somebody else's any less. But I think in an effort to keep it rather real, instead of just talking about all the good stuff, let's talk about the challenges we have. And you may not even remember them, because in the moment they seem really big, but then they kind of pass. So, because even myself, I'm trying to think about a challenge I had yesterday, and just not coming up with one. And I'm sure my day was full of them. In the moment, it was like, oh gosh. But obviously, got through it. One thing I did do yesterday, I know in a previous video, I talked about my love language, acts of service and gifts, both to give and receive. Was what I did in relation to that. Besides my husband's back bothering him really badly, so I cleaned out the tub and I ran him a hot bath with lots of Epsom salts. So it was a little act of service. And we have new neighbors moving in across the street. And they moved in, police officer rolling through the neighborhood, which frankly I have never seen before. In the year plus that I've lived here, don't ever recall seeing a police officer come through the neighborhood. Anyway, neighbors started moving in. I want to say it was on Monday, and I know what moving's like. I did it not too long ago. So I wanted to kind of give them a little welcome to the neighborhood. Moving can be stressful. It appeared they have 2 children. So, you know, their lives got a little disrupted. The adults' lives got a little disrupted. And then there's the stress of packing up one house, loading a truck, because they didn't have a moving truck. They did it themselves. It was a U-Haul. And then getting to the new place, getting everything unloaded, getting everything unpacked. And it did look like they spent Monday night in their new home, or Sunday night in their new home. It was either Sunday or Monday they did their move-in. So it's tough. It's exciting, don't get me wrong, but it just is really stressful and can seem very overwhelming while you're trying to make this move happen and life in general just going on. Kids have to go to school. If they have after school activities, those things still happen. They still have jobs. Might have had to still work. So what I did was I made a little meal. I made one of those braids. It was a ham, broccoli, and cheese braid. Did it in puff pastry. And some chocolate cookies. So I took it over yesterday. And I told the husband was home. And I told him I'm not going to chat. You got lots of stuff to do. And I know that. And we'll have plenty of time to get to know each other once everything gets settled. So I just wanted to drop this meal off, maybe make one night a little bit easier for you. And then I told him about an event that was going on in the park this weekend. Actually started last night. It was going on through Saturday. And told them if they wanted to take a little break from the move and just have some fun family time, that event was going on in the park. And he said thank you. And his wife was at work, so the kids were home from school. So that was my act of service. I'm not saying it to you so that you think, oh, she's so kind and all that. No, I'm giving you an idea. Because oftentimes when you say an act of service, people think they have to do something super grand. Like they have to do something world-changing, which I mean is nice. If you can, go for it. I'm not going to stop you. But those acts of service are those little acts of kindness that we can do. So just the little things, they help. If it helps one person in some way, then it's great. So there's PR stopping to be the investigative pup. So come on, girl. Oh, she's about to leave her mark. All right. So that was an act of service, or a couple acts of service I did yesterday. And I think that just those little things are helpful. Sometimes they make you feel good. I think they always make you feel good. Whenever you help somebody, it makes you feel a little bit better. In whatever way it is. Hold the door open for somebody. Especially if you see their hands are full. And maybe you're in a rush, but you know what? That 5 seconds, not going to make a difference in where you're going. But it will make a difference in how you feel. So maybe you just do something as kind as holding a door open for someone. What kinds of acts of service do you do or have you done in the past? I'm sure there are plenty. And sometimes those acts of service we think aren't big enough or great enough because maybe we're only doing them for a family member. But that helps. Oh, there's a bird egg. I'm going to show you. Hold on. Teeny tiny bird egg. Oh, where did it go? There we go. Oh, I don't think it's going to make it. Nature all around us. So we're talking about acts of service, and sometimes they're just for our family or people right in our circle. And we think that it's no big deal because it's not really that big help, right? Except those things have that ripple effect. So that ripple effect, sure that we've all heard about it, right? You have a pond of water and you throw a stone in the water and it starts to ripple, those concentric circles. And they go bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as it gets to the shore. And then when it hits the shore, they bounce back. So that goodness you give is coming back, which is pretty cool. And don't do something because you expect something in return. You do something, we give freely. That's when it comes back to you. Lots of times people will be like, well, I did this for you and now you're not doing this for me. No, 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 no. No, we need to give freely from our heart and know that it will come back. So, I was talking about, you might not think that what you're doing is a great act of service because it's just, you think your immediate family, but it has that ripple effect. Because whatever you've done has affected that other person in a positive way. Like if you held the door open for somebody. It's like, oh wow, not everybody's an asshole in this world. Thank you so much, you know? And it makes them want to be a better person. Maybe it brings a smile to them and they smile at a stranger. And that's what that stranger needed in that moment. And when you think, oh, it's just my family. I just made dinner for my mother-in-law. She wasn't feeling well. That's an act of kindness. And that person feels better inside. And then the next time they come into contact with somebody else, they are going to be a better person toward whomever it is that they're in contact with. And those simple little things that we don't even know make such a huge difference. Oh, again, she's found something to sniff. So don't ever think that this little thing you've done is nothing. It's always something. Whether it's with your kids' teachers and you just say thank you to them. I mean, being a teacher is a thankless job. They're all underpaid in this country anyway. They're all expected to do way more. How about your healthcare providers? They too, whether you believe it or not, are underpaid. And, you know, I even say to the doctor I work for, I'm like, why do you want to do this? This is crazy. All of these restrictions, all of these rules don't allow you to doctor. You're just having to adjust everything you do to please an insurance company. And when you've had enough and you need something more, you have to fight them tooth and nail for your patient. And she's like, Rose, I do this because I genuinely care. And I want to help these people. And that's beautiful. And that's why I continue to work for her. And why I have such respect for her. And she's my doctor of choice for that reason. When she has to buck the system, she certainly will. There are blood tests that she orders for patients that insurance doesn't cover. She's like, I don't care. Let the patient know their insurance isn't going to cover it and I want it done. Tries to work with the insurance or with the labs to get a better price on these tests. Why? Because once she ordered it by mistake and it caught a cancer in a patient and it saved their life. And that's why she insists on certain tests to be done. So, oh, little puppy over there. PR's just got her all riled up by existing. So anyway, we're back talking about acts of service and doing them and giving freely, not giving because we expect something in return. And if you feel like you give and give and give, and you're tired of giving because you're not getting anything, take a look at it and see what you are getting, because we are getting something. Maybe we're getting a lesson. And the lesson is we need to be more selective. Maybe we're giving to the wrong people, because there are people that are takers, right? And they never give back. And of course, if it's something that is detrimental to one's health, we're not going to hold back. But if it is somebody that just takes and then begins to expect, okay, there's my lesson. I need to pull back. I need to help this person learn their lesson too. So, be of service. Little things, they add up, no matter who they're for. Even if it's for your kids, right? I mean, we think that as parents, we have to do these things. As my parents once told me, the only thing I have to do is put a roof over your head and food in your belly and make sure you get to school every day. Those are the only things I have to do. Everything else is bonus. That's the way I was brought up. There are some of you out there that were brought up that way too. And there are some of you that'll be like, oh, that's so harsh. No, they have to buy me, the designer this, and they have to get me this cool backpack, and they have to get me this colorful, beautiful binder that's 3 times the price of this other one. No, they don't. Okay? They do not. They don't have to get you the Nike sneakers or any of the other nonsense. They do it because they love you. And sometimes it's at great expense and denial to themselves that they do those things. Right? So whether we're grown or you're somebody younger that might be watching this, give that a thought. Because as miserable as your parents might have been, some parents, even though they were miserable, made some sort of great sacrifice somewhere along the line. And maybe now you look at it and be like, that's not a great sacrifice. They bought me a pair of Calvin Klein jeans. That's nothing. Now I say that because my parents bought me a pair of Calvin Klein jeans. Because when I wanted them, they were all the rage and they were extremely expensive. Right? And back then, $100 for anything was super expensive. Now we're getting to a point where $100 is like the average price point. I mean, God, Target's average price point now is $30, which is stupid because they're not having that kind of quality. But that's a whole different chat. So they made quite a few sacrifices in order for me to have that. And I appreciate that. I recognize it. I recognized it in a moment. I had some thought. I didn't feel like it was owed to me because my parents always let me know that nothing is owed to you in life. You work for it all. Nobody owes you anything, my dad would always tell me. And he was right, and those are good lessons, and they're tough. But that again is off of our acts of service chat. We can just go on forever. So back to acts of service. Those little things you do, they mean something to someone, somewhere along the line. Even if those people don't come to you and tell you, hey, thanks for whatever. Don't say thank you for opening the door. When you say have a nice day to somebody and they don't even acknowledge you, or maybe they scowl at you. I remember once I said, have a nice day to somebody, and they just kind of looked at me and I said, or not, it's your choice. And they looked a little quizzical and they walked on. So maybe I made a difference. Who knows? So as you move into the weekend, easier opportunity maybe to have some sort of act of service. Let me know what it is you do, or maybe something that happened to you that made a shift in your day. Share that with me below in the comments. Good morning, and I will talk to you very soon. Have a great day on purpose. And the creator's name, Aletha, Aletha, Crimmins, Crimmons. I'm going to make sure I tag her. So if you want to check her out because she's definitely worth getting that positivity and that motivation from. I will see you soon. Have an amazing day.